Dirty old egg-sucking dog by Johnny Cash, more or less a declaration of war on man's best friend, and you'd be forgiven for thinking that some Greeks have been whistling that tune lately. In Greece, there are concerns that animals, dogs in particular, may be in danger because cash-strapped Greeks are struggling with the cost of pet food and vet bills. And I've been hearing more from Vesna Jones with Greek Animal Rescue.
We definitely know the situation is getting worse because now there are more small and elderly dogs being thrown on the street than ever before. Every shelter we support, they have big problem with dogs that are ill, that hadn't been taken to the vets by their previous owners, and obviously probably for financial reasons say they can't afford it, so it's out of sight, out of mind, and they put them out on the street. We are receiving so many calls for help all the time.
So what's the main problem then? Is it because of the cost of food, or is it because of the vet's bills?
I would say both, but it's just the attitude toward dogs. You know, if they buy a pedigree dog, it's for status symbol. I mean, there hasn't been time before that, for example, when I was at a shelter on Samos in the summertime, there were 2 pedigree pugs. There were a number of pedigree poodles that people have paid a few €100 for. There was a bulldog, there was a couple of spaniels. It's a case of animals are being abandoned all too readily rather than deal with the problem.
Without meaning to sound unfair, is this just a problem with Greek society, that they're not particularly diligent about looking after their pets? Has that always been the case in Greece?
Well, our charity started after my husband and myself went on holiday there in 1987, and we certainly didn't expect to see so many strays scavenging around dustbins, dead bodies by the roadside, so on and so on. And in all honesty, you know, through all these years, the situation on the outside it looks a bit better, but all this and more continues to go on. Dogs that are being hanged, drowned, burned alive after every holiday season.
So what needs to be done then? Because is it that Greek people are cruel when it comes to animals? I mean, are you saying that?
In many respects, some are, but one of the biggest problems, the laws exist, but they are not implemented, they are not enforced, and people get away with literally with murder. There are so many cases I could rattle off, you know, where horrific animal abuse has happened, and the case postponed again and again and again, and in the end nothing will happen because the man will just turn around and say, well, the dog killed my chicken, and there will be enough reason for him to have done what he done.
What's the solution to all this then? Do you need some kind of state-sponsored neutering program or something like that?
That is absolutely one of the biggest problems, is because people don't sterilize. And then the stray dogs, 95% of them, they are not born on the street. They end up on the street because they're abandoned there. By people who have female dogs, when they come into season, they get pregnant, but the puppies are never kept. The authorities should definitely run some kind of sponsored neutering scheme. You don't get a big backup on that from the authorities. They should work more hand in hand with the animal welfare societies.
Vesna Jones with the Greek Animal Rescue there. That brings us to the end of this edition of World Update. The news is coming next.